Hey, what is up, guys? It's Brendan here, and today we're going to be taking a look at how to name your Shopify store. Now, this is a super crucial step in getting started with your online business, Shopify store, and creating the business that you want to ultimately build. Coming up with that name can be tricky, difficult, and there are a lot of different things and crucial missteps that you don't want to make when it comes to coming up with your business name, again, for your Shopify store. So that's what we're going to be diving into here in today's video, exactly step-by-step how to do it, what to look for, and what also to, again, look out for as well to avoid making those simple mistakes. Now, before we dive into things, of course, I do want to mention again, if you have not already started your Shopify store, you can go and check out that first link down below in the description. That's brendanvalesky.com/Shopify. It'll take you right over to this page here where you can get started with a Shopify free trial. Once again, that is a Shopify free trial at the first link in the description. Without further ado, let's go ahead and dive into the tutorial, of course, how to come up with your business name and naming your Shopify store. So one of the first steps that I personally like to do is to come over here to Shopify's own business name generator. Now, this is an AI generated business name creator, and you're also able to claim your domain through this tool as well. I'll be leaving a link to this page in the video description as well if you do want to utilize this tool. Now, of course, there's a few different ways to come up with your business name. Again, there are multiple different ways to do it and things you're going to want to look out for. So showing you through this method here, first you have to think about, okay, well, you're creating a business, right? And you're going to be doing this as a Shopify store. You first want to, of course, think about, well, what niche are you going to be in? What category are you going to be starting in? That's one of the first areas to come up with your actual Shopify store name and your business name for your Shopify store. So in this case, whether you be arts and crafts, cleaning, health, food, kids, candles, whatever it may be, or even jewelry, we're gonna go ahead and go with candles for this example, just because, just to show you sort of an example of what it looks like. All you have to do is click on the category. Now you can also type in your own category if your category is not there. This is just a quick search way to do it, in case you're just trying to test the waters and kind of see what it comes up with. So it's currently generating. And as you can see here, now we have these business names. Now, one thing to keep in mind here with the business names that Shopify generates here is that these are, again, AI generated, and it's not necessarily run through all of the tests and systems that you're going to want to do when you are deciding on your name for your Shopify store, because ultimately you come up with a name for your Shopify store, you're going to want to stick with that business name for the long run. Now, personally, I like to go with something that's maybe 2 words. 1 word is very difficult nowadays to get, illuminate. I mean, that's, and the other thing with going with 1 word as well is if you ever want to register that as a trademark in the future, it can be maybe a little extra difficult to get that trademark secured, as well as maybe even an LLC or a business name down the road with just a single word name. Again, companies like Apple, Target, they've already beat you to the punch. It's going to be very difficult to come up with just a 1-word business. So I would personally recommend going with 2 words if you can. I get that that's not necessarily going to be the easiest either, because again, there's probably a lot of our businesses that are already out there that exist, maybe with even the exact name Candle Vibe. That's just an example here that showed up. So that's something to keep in mind. You're going to want to also search for some of these names on Google, as well as trademark and domain, which we're going to be going through in just a moment, how to do that and what that looks like as well. But we're going to go ahead and pick one of these. Again, 3 words is even easier typically if you go with like a 3-word business, because the odds of someone else having that exact same combination of 3 words is a bit lower. So if you had like Zen Candle Heaven or Haven, probably a lot less chances someone else might be having that exact same thing. The other thing you do want to consider as well is how broad or narrow you want to go within your niche, because this can be something that is more of a thing long term that you want to consider. Like, you don't necessarily want to call your whole business, just candles or Zen candles, and then eventually you want to start selling maybe some other therapy type things or other types of products or fragrances. Or for example, Fragrance Flick, if you want to start selling other types of products, beyond, within the candle space, then maybe it makes sense to go with something that's maybe not super niche. Again, just sort of depends on your business. But let's just go with a quick example here. So we have Wax Whisperworks. We have Ember Essence Creations. So you can go through here as well and just keep generating them if you're not sure about a certain name, or you can try a new name. So Serenity Flame Aroma Aura Candle Vibe. So let's just go with Candle Vibe actually for this example to kind of demonstrate what I mean. So Candle Vibe, let's say, all right, Candle Vibe, that's going to be our name. The next thing you're going to want to do is come over to Google. That's one thing you're going to want to make sure you do is then search for the business name. So Candle Vibe, let's say you want to do that. Well, it looks like there's already an online store called Vibes Candles. That might be too similar for you in your business. So, and the other thing to consider with that is that then when people go to search your brand name, you don't really want a whole lot of confusion as to, are you this store or are you somebody else's store? You don't want like brand confusion. And other businesses don't want that either. That can lead to potential like, legal situations in the future if you have like too similar of a brand name to somebody else that already exists. So this is another thing to keep in mind. Again, if you're just getting started, it's not necessarily as crucial, but these things can even matter at the very beginning stages as well. So you can see that Vibes Candles seems to be kind of popular already. Candle Vibe is the name here. So we're going to go ahead and copy that. One other thing you can do as well to see maybe if something is already existing is to use the trademark search. This is on the US government. I will leave a link to this tool as well, the trademark search. It's another thing that you can use to help search for, names and trademarks. So we're going to search for Candle Vibe. So as you can see, there's not really anything that comes up here on the trademarks for Candle Vibe, but that doesn't necessarily mean everything. Again, I would say the ipso facto best thing to look at is Google search, because just because a company doesn't have an actual registered trademark does not mean that it might still create problems for you in the future. Again, when it comes to having similar brand names, and creating future problems for you in terms of maybe ranking in Google when people search for your name, or even just overall brand confusion in the marketplace, or potential legal issues if other companies find you to be a problem. So in this case, we're going to not go with Candle Vibe because it's a little too close. Let's pick another one, maybe Aroma Aura. I kind of like that one, Aroma Aura. So let's go with that one, Aroma Aura. So this one, look at that. Someone else already has a Shopify store, Aroma Aura Hub, which is kind of funny. But it's not that established, it seems like, compared to the last one that we had looked up. Aroma Aura, not... The other thing you want to consider as well is how easy it is for people to name it and remember it. So there's a lot of things you do want to consider when you're coming up with your brand name. The easier it is for people to spell, it's also a good thing to consider as well. Soothe Sense. Let's try that one. Soothe Sense. Soothe Sense. So Soothing Sense, I guess, is already a brand. So... that's another one. So, the process is pretty straightforward here. You're going to want to make sure that you're Googling and searching each of your different company brand names. Again, the more words, the easier it is for the fact that someone else probably doesn't have it. So maybe let's go with Wax Whisperworks. Wax Whisperworks, www. Wax Whisperworks. So as you can see, that a random YouTube video comes up, the Wax Whisperer or something like that. I have no idea what this is. So, that could be something that you'd go with, because if they just have a YouTube channel and they don't have a Shopify store or anything, then hey, that might be a good one to you to go with. So, because again, there's not already like another e-commerce store that exists in the marketplace that you might be competing with on a brand search basis. So there you go. So that's sort of that process there with Google. I also recommend doing the trademark search as well. That it's not necessarily as broad of a scope. I'd say Google is probably your number one, but the trademark search can also be helpful. And then lastly, the next thing you're going to want to do is actually make sure that the domain name for your business is even available. So one of the other examples before recording this video, I was testing Handmade Haven, because that was one of the ones that came up through here within Shopify. And as you can see, that domain is already registered. So this is another thing. Now you can actually purchase your domains directly through Shopify as well if you want to do that. You can also also purchase your domains externally through another service if you want to, maybe if you get a better deal. It does not matter to me who you decide to go with. Shopify does make it pretty easy. So, if you want to buy your domain through Shopify, you could do that as well. And then it's a little less headache on trying to connect everything. So I'd probably recommend doing that. But you want to also make sure your domain is actually available. So Candle Vibe, let's just take that example here. Now, personally, I still recommend going with a .com, even in the age of all these other different types of domains. Candle Vibe. So you could also search for maybe some other variations of this. You could use something like ChatGPT to come up with AI variations of certain names instead of Vibe, but maybe you go with like Candle and Chill or something like that. I don't know. I'm just coming up with something here. Candle and Chill. Okay, so look at that. Boom, Candle and Chill is available. So that could be a cool name. Hey, if you want to just steal that right from this video, go right ahead. Be my guest. It does not matter to me. So Candle and Chill .com is available. So that's the next thing you're going to want to make sure is that make sure your actual brand name has the domain name available. Just makes it a lot easier that your actual domain is the same as your brand name, because it makes it easier to rank in Google and SEO, and just for people to find your name when they're searching for it on social media and just in general speaking about it, even through word of mouth. So yeah, that pretty much is the overall process. Make sure that domain is available. Make sure that on Google, there's not already a competing business that already exists within the same space or within the same niche industry category. And the trademark search as well can be somewhat helpful. Again, it's not exactly the best because it is quite broad in terms of what comes up in here, but it can be helpful. If you're trying to look for certain things, or maybe if you are looking to actually file a trademark, that can be another useful way there. Another thing I would also recommend doing potentially is you could also search for like LLC or something like that. So Candle Vibe LLC, that can help you as well in terms of like finding specific brands if they are already existing within your market. It really just depends if you end up going the LLC route and filing that for your business. Again, you don't have to when you're just getting started with Shopify. You don't need an LLC to get started, but it is another thing. You could also search through your local, state's LLC list and see what existing businesses already exist within your industry or within your state. You can also see that as well, like on an LLC search for your state or for your county. Things like that. So that's another thing you can also do as well, again, when you are searching for different names. But guys, I hope you found this tutorial helpful on coming up with your business name. Again, the different searches and processes that you're going to want to do when you're coming up with your Shopify store and getting started with your Shopify store. Again, if you guys don't already have a Shopify store, you can go check out that first link down below in the description. That's BrennanValesky.com/Shopify. Take you right over to this page here where you can get started with a Shopify free trial. Once again, that's that first link down below in the description. And thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, then be sure to smash that like button, hit the subscribe button as well, and notification bell so you're notified whenever I upload a new video. Anyway, guys, that's all for today's video, and I will see you in the next one. Peace out.